Imagine if you could transform every relationship and every interaction by mastering your emotions. This audiobook reveals the secrets to unlocking your emotional intelligence and social skills, empowering you to connect, communicate, and thrive in every area of life. Start listening now. Introduction. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to navigate through life's toughest challenges with grace, while others struggle despite being highly intelligent or talented? The secret often lies in a crucial but often overlooked skill: emotional intelligence, EQ. You might be familiar with IQ, the traditional measure of intelligence, but here's the real game changer: EQ. It's not just about being smart. It's about being aware of your emotions, managing them effectively, and using this awareness to build strong, meaningful relationships.
EQ is the true catalyst for success in nearly every area of life. In this audiobook, we're going to dive deep into how you can unlock the power of emotional intelligence and transform your personal and professional relationships. We'll break down the essential components of EQ, explain how they work, and give you actionable tools to master each aspect. The aim is simple: to help you become more self-aware, more empathetic, and ultimately, more in control of your own emotional life. But why does EQ matter? Well, imagine having the ability to turn stressful situations into opportunities for growth. Picture yourself maintaining calm and focus even in the most challenging circumstances. Visualize how much easier it would be to connect with others, manage conflicts, and thrive at work and at home. Emotional intelligence gives you the tools to do all of this and more. So, if you've been struggling with navigating your emotions, understanding others, or even just connecting in social situations, then this audiobook is exactly what you need. We're going to walk you through it step by step. But before we dive into the practical steps, let's first understand exactly what emotional intelligence is and why it holds such power in shaping our experiences. Chapter 1. Understanding emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? At its core, emotional intelligence, EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. It's more than just being in touch with your feelings. It's the ability to navigate them in a way that benefits you and those around you. When you have high emotional intelligence, you are better equipped to handle life's challenges. You don't get overwhelmed by emotions like anger, sadness, or frustration. Instead, you manage them effectively, using them to your advantage. Imagine being able to pause, reflect, and choose how to respond instead of letting your emotions take control. That's the power of EQ. But it's not just about self-regulation. It's also about empathy and understanding how others feel. Emotional intelligence gives you the ability to see things from someone else's perspective, which is an essential skill for building strong, trusting relationships. It allows you to communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts more smoothly, and collaborate more successfully with others. When you start to develop your emotional intelligence, you'll notice significant improvements in every area of your life: relationships, work performance, health, and overall happiness. You'll feel more centered, confident, and in control of your emotions. And the best part is, EQ is not something you're born with. It can be developed. You can improve your emotional intelligence at any stage of life, and doing so will create ripples of positive change that affect every interaction, decision, and outcome. The 5 core components of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a complex concept, but it can be broken down into 5 core components. These are 1. Self-awareness. 2. Self-regulation. 3. Motivation. 4. Empathy. 5. Social skills. Each of these components plays a vital role in shaping how we interact with ourselves and others. In the coming chapters, we'll explore each of these in detail, but for now, let's quickly go over what each of these involves. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your emotions as they happen. It's about being in tune with how you feel and why you feel that way. The more self-aware you are, the better you can manage your emotions and reactions. Self-regulation involves controlling your emotional responses, especially in stressful situations. It's about remaining calm and composed, no matter the external circumstances. Motivation is the ability to harness your emotions to stay focused on your goals and stay positive, even in the face of setbacks. Empathy is the capacity to understand and share the feelings of others. It goes beyond simply sympathizing with them. It involves being able to feel what they're feeling and use that understanding to interact more effectively. Social skills are the abilities that help you manage relationships and communicate effectively with others. This includes everything from conflict resolution to teamwork to understanding nonverbal cues. These components are interconnected. For example, you can't regulate your emotions effectively if you're not self-aware. You can't truly empathize with someone if you haven't first learned how to regulate your own emotions. Each part of emotional intelligence builds upon the other to create a complete framework for emotional mastery. Why does emotional intelligence matter? The first question you might ask is, why should I care about emotional intelligence? Isn't intelligence enough? Isn't being good at math, science, or problem solving the only thing that matters? Well, let's step back and think about it for a moment. Imagine you've been promoted to a leadership role. You're expected to lead a team, solve complex problems, and deliver results. But the real test isn't just in solving problems. It's in how you manage people, how you motivate others, and how you respond to challenges. If you lack emotional intelligence, you may struggle with communication, making decisions under pressure, and handling conflicts. In short, you could struggle with the very thing that makes leadership work: the ability to connect with and inspire others. The same applies to your personal life. Whether you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, or just interacting with family members, emotional intelligence helps you understand and respond to the feelings of others. It enables you to create stronger, more meaningful relationships, and it helps you avoid unnecessary drama or misunderstandings. Emotional intelligence is the key that unlocks deeper, more fulfilling connections, whether you're leading a team at work, managing a household, or simply navigating day-to-day social situations. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. The better you understand your own emotions, the more effectively you can work with others, and the more you'll thrive in life. The science behind emotional intelligence. You might be wondering, is emotional intelligence backed by science? The answer is yes. In fact, emotional intelligence has been extensively researched over the last few decades, and numerous studies have shown that people with high EQ tend to have better mental health, stronger relationships, and greater success in their careers. One of the most significant studies on EQ was conducted by psychologist Daniel Goleman, who popularized the concept of emotional intelligence. Goleman's research showed that emotional intelligence was often more important than traditional intelligence, IQ, when it came to predicting success in life. He argued that emotional intelligence is critical not just in leadership or social situations, but also in dealing with personal stress, making decisions, and maintaining overall well-being. Science has also shown that emotional intelligence is closely linked to the brain's ability to regulate emotions. It's not just about thinking logically. It's about feeling with emotional clarity. With EQ, your brain becomes better equipped to understand and manage feelings, both yours and those of others. Chapter 2. Self-awareness. Imagine this. You wake up, feeling restless and a little agitated. You can't quite place why, but something is off. Maybe it's the looming deadlines at work, a disagreement with a friend, or the unspoken tension at home. You feel a surge of frustration, but you're not sure how to express it. Before you know it, Your emotions are controlling your day and you're reacting without thinking. Have you been here? Now imagine a different scenario. You wake up feeling the same way, restless, agitated, but this time, something's different. Before you jump into your day, you pause for a moment. You take a deep breath and tune in to what's going on inside you. You recognize the frustration and understand where it's coming from. Instead of reacting to it blindly, you decide to take action with intention. You choose to communicate your feelings calmly or to let go of the stress, knowing that it doesn't serve you. What's the difference between these two scenarios? Self-awareness. In the first scenario, you were at the mercy of your emotions, reacting instinctively and often impulsively. In the second, you had control because you recognized your emotional state and understood its source. Self-awareness is the first step in mastering emotional intelligence, and it sets the foundation for everything else. It allows you to see your emotions clearly, understand why they occur, and then choose how to respond instead of letting them dictate your actions. This is exactly what we'll explore in this part. How to cultivate self-awareness so that you can start to manage your emotions with intention and clarity. Trust me, this skill is transformative. Once you develop it, you'll notice a profound shift in how you approach challenges, handle stress, and interact with the world around you. It's the first step toward becoming the person you want to be. What is self-awareness? At its core, self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your emotions as they arise. It's about paying attention to what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how those emotions influence your thoughts and behaviors. But it goes deeper than just acknowledging that you're feeling frustrated, happy, or sad. Self-awareness is the ability to observe your emotions without judgment, to see them for what they are, and to understand the underlying causes. You might think this is something simple. After all, we all experience emotions, right? But if you really think about it, how often do you stop and truly pay attention to your feelings? How often do you take a moment to reflect on why you're feeling the way you do? Most of us go through life on autopilot, reacting to situations without ever really understanding why we feel the way we do or how those emotions affect our decisions. But self-awareness invites us to break that cycle. It's not just about recognizing emotions like anger or happiness. Self-awareness is about getting curious about those emotions. It's about asking yourself questions like, why am I feeling this way? What triggered this emotion? How is this emotion influencing the way I'm thinking and behaving? When you develop self-awareness, you start to see patterns in your emotional life. You begin to notice what makes you anxious, what inspires you, and what causes you to shut down. You begin to understand how your emotions impact your decisions, and you can start to make more conscious choices. Why is self-awareness important? Self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence because it provides the foundation for everything else. Without self-awareness, you can't regulate your emotions, empathize with others, or build meaningful social connections. It's like trying to drive a car without knowing how to read the dashboard. If you don't know what's going on inside of you, you can't effectively respond to the world around you. But the benefits of self-awareness go beyond just emotional mastery. When you are more self-aware, you become more in tune with your values, strengths, and weaknesses. This clarity allows you to make better decisions in all areas of life. You'll know what truly matters to you, and you'll be able to prioritize accordingly. Self-awareness also improves your relationships. The more you understand yourself, the better you can communicate with others and relate to their feelings. It's not about being perfect or never having negative emotions. It's about knowing how to deal with them in healthy, constructive ways. In the workplace, self-awareness is crucial for effective leadership and collaboration. Leaders with high self-awareness are able to manage their emotions and make rational decisions even under pressure. They're also able to recognize their own biases and blind spots, which leads to better decision-making and more equitable treatment of others. Similarly, People with high self-awareness tend to have more fulfilling personal relationships because they are able to communicate their emotions clearly and navigate conflicts with empathy. So, why wait? If you want to improve your life and develop a more meaningful connection with yourself and others, self-awareness is your first step. How to develop self-awareness? Now that we've established why self-awareness is so important, let's dive into how you can develop it. Fortunately, self-awareness is a skill, not an innate trait, which means you can improve it with practice. Here are some actionable steps you can take to enhance your self-awareness. 1. Start a daily reflection practice. One of the most effective ways to increase self-awareness is through regular reflection. Journaling is a powerful tool for this. Set aside time each day to write down your thoughts and feelings. Don't worry about grammar or structure. Just let your thoughts flow freely. Reflect on your emotional experiences throughout the day. What made you happy? What upset you? How did you respond? The act of writing things down helps you gain clarity and insight into your emotions. You can also use journaling to track patterns in your emotional life. For example, you might notice that certain situations or people trigger specific emotions. This awareness can help you anticipate your emotional responses and make more intentional choices in the future. 2. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, you can become more aware of your emotions as they arise, rather than reacting automatically. When you notice yourself feeling a strong emotion, take a moment to breathe and observe the emotion without judgment. Notice how it feels in your body and where it's coming from. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And what do I need right now? Mindfulness also helps you become more aware of your thoughts and how they influence your emotions. When you catch yourself thinking negative or self-critical thoughts, you can choose to replace them with more positive, supportive thoughts. 3. Get feedback from others. Sometimes we're not fully aware of how our emotions are affecting others. Asking for feedback from trusted friends, family members, or colleagues can help you gain a clearer perspective on how you're showing up in the world. Ask them how they perceive your emotional responses in various situations. Are you calm and composed, or do you tend to get reactive? Do you communicate your feelings clearly, or do you bottle them up? Honest feedback is an invaluable tool for increasing self-awareness. 4. Practice emotional check-ins. Throughout the day, take a moment to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Are you tense, happy, anxious, or excited? What's going on inside of you? You can even set reminders on your phone to do this several times a day, or incorporate it into your existing habits, e.g., when you wake up, before you eat lunch, or right before bed. The goal of these check-ins is to become more aware of your emotions in real time. This allows you to intervene before emotions spiral out of control, and it helps you maintain a sense of emotional balance. 5. Examine your core values. Self-awareness isn't just about understanding your emotions, it's also about understanding your core values. When you're clear on what matters most to you, you can make decisions that align with your values. Spend some time reflecting on your personal values. What principles guide your actions? What do you stand for? When you align your actions with your values, you'll feel more authentic and fulfilled. Conclusion: embracing your emotional journey. Self-awareness is the gateway to emotional intelligence. It's the first step on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself, because once you understand your emotions, you can start to manage them. You'll respond to life's challenges with clarity and calm, build better relationships, and make decisions that align with your true values. As you continue to practice self-awareness, remember that it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about getting better every day at recognizing and understanding your emotions. In the next part of this audiobook, we'll explore the second core component of emotional intelligence, self-regulation. Once you've cultivated awareness of your emotions, you'll need the skills to manage them effectively. So, keep reflecting, keep checking in with yourself, and remember, every step you take toward greater self-awareness is a step toward a more fulfilling life. Chapter 3. Self-regulation. Imagine this. You are in a meeting at work, tensions are rising, and someone makes a comment that gets under your skin. The old you would have snapped, said something you'd regret, and the conversation would have spiraled into conflict. But today, something is different. Instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You feel the rush of frustration, but instead of letting it control you, you take a deep breath, focus on your breathing, and allow the feeling to pass. You choose to respond calmly with clarity and focus, and you steer the conversation back on track. You've just exercised the powerful skill of self-regulation. This is what emotional intelligence is all about. Not letting your emotions control you, but mastering them. Self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotions, especially in challenging or high-stress situations, so that you can respond in a calm and effective manner. When you master self-regulation, you're not just reacting to the world around you. You're taking control of how you show up in every moment. It's about choosing how to respond, rather than letting your emotions dictate your actions. Self-regulation is one of the most powerful tools in your emotional intelligence toolkit. It's what helps you stay composed in stressful situations, make better decisions, and avoid rash actions that you might regret later. The best part? Self-regulation can be learned just like any other skill. And by the end of this chapter, you'll understand exactly how to strengthen this crucial component of emotional intelligence. What is self-regulation? At its core, self-regulation is the ability to manage your emotional responses, particularly during stressful or challenging moments. It's about controlling your impulses, staying calm under pressure, and avoiding emotional outbursts that could harm relationships or derail your goals. In essence, it's the opposite of letting your emotions hijack your actions. Instead, you consciously choose how you respond to situations, making decisions that are in line with your long-term objectives rather than acting impulsively based on immediate emotional reactions. Think about how often we let emotions get the best of us. Maybe you've been in a situation where someone said something offensive, and your initial reaction was to lash out or shut down. In those moments, emotions like anger, frustration, or anxiety take over, and we react without thinking. The beauty of self-regulation is that it empowers you to take a step back before acting. It's the ability to recognize when emotions are building up inside you and make the conscious decision to channel them constructively. But self-regulation isn't just about controlling negative emotions like anger or frustration. It's also about managing positive emotions like excitement or joy. Sometimes our positive emotions can be just as disruptive as negative ones, especially when they lead to impulsive decisions or overexuberance. Self-regulation helps you maintain a balanced, thoughtful approach to every situation, regardless of how you're feeling in the moment. Why self-regulation matters. You might be thinking, isn't it natural to react to emotions? Why should I have to control them? And while it's completely natural to feel emotions, self-regulation is important because it allows you to choose your response rather than being driven by your emotions. Think about it. Life is full of unexpected situations, stressful deadlines, difficult conversations, conflicts with others. If you let your emotions take over in those moments, you're more likely to act in ways that don't align with your values, hurt your relationships, or hinder your progress. Here's the key. Self-regulation helps you remain aligned with your goals and values. When you stay calm and composed, you can make decisions that support your long-term well-being, rather than being swept up in temporary emotional reactions. For example, if you're in a conflict with a colleague and you let anger drive your response, you might escalate the situation and damage the relationship. However, if you regulate your emotions, you can express your feelings in a respectful way and find a solution that benefits everyone. In the workplace, self-regulation is essential for effective leadership. Leaders who can manage their emotions and stay calm under pressure are better able to make sound decisions, inspire their teams, and create a positive work environment. On a personal level, self-regulation can improve your relationships by helping you respond to others with empathy and understanding, rather than reacting impulsively or defensively. Self-regulation also plays a key role in mental health. Chronic stress, anxiety, and anger can take a toll on your well-being. But when you learn to regulate your emotions, you can better manage these feelings and reduce their negative impact on your health. The more you practice self-regulation, the more resilient you become in the face of challenges, and the better you are at maintaining your emotional equilibrium. How to improve self-regulation? The good news is that self-regulation is a skill that you can develop over time. It's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about learning to manage them in a way that serves you and others. So, how can you develop this powerful skill? Here are some practical techniques to help you strengthen your self-regulation. 1. Practice the pause. One of the most effective tools for self-regulation is to pause before reacting. In emotionally charged situations, our natural instinct is to react quickly. But this impulsive response often leads to regret later on. By simply taking a moment to breathe and pause, you create space between the emotion and your reaction. This pause gives you the opportunity to assess the situation, gather your thoughts, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. Next time you feel your emotions rising, try this. Stop, breathe, and count to 5. This gives you a few moments to recenter yourself and decide how you want to handle the situation. 2. Reframe your thoughts. Our emotions are often triggered by the way we interpret situations. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your immediate thought might be, "What a jerk, how dare they?" This leads to feelings of anger and frustration, but self-regulation involves reframing your thoughts to manage your emotional response. You can choose to interpret the situation differently. Maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe they didn't see me. By changing your perspective, you reduce the emotional charge of the situation and can stay calm. Reframing allows you to see the bigger picture and focus on what you can control, rather than letting your emotions dictate your response. It's about shifting your mindset so that you're not at the mercy of your feelings. 3. Use grounding techniques. When your emotions are running high, grounding techniques can help you stay centered. Grounding is the practice of using your senses to bring you back to the present moment. You can do this by focusing on something physical, like the feel of your feet on the ground, or the sensation of your breath as it enters and exits your body. Grounding helps you move out of your head, where emotions run wild, and back into your body, giving you more control over how you respond. 4. Develop emotional awareness. Self-regulation starts with emotional awareness, the ability to recognize your emotions as they arise. By paying attention to your emotions and identifying them in real time, you can catch them before they escalate. This means learning to notice the physical sensations that accompany certain emotions. For example, when you feel anger building, you might notice your chest tightening, your jaw clenching, or your hands becoming tense. These physical signals are your body's way of alerting you to an emotional shift. Once you recognize these signals, you can take steps to regulate your emotions. For instance, if you notice tension in your body, you might take a deep breath or practice progressive muscle relaxation to calm down. 5. Practice stress relief techniques. Stress is one of the biggest triggers for emotional reactivity, so it's important to have tools in place to manage stress effectively. Regular practice of stress relief techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, or exercise, can help you stay calm and focused. When your body and mind are in a relaxed state, you're less likely to overreact in stressful situations. Consider incorporating daily stress relief practices into your routine. Even a few minutes of deep breathing or meditation each day can help you build emotional resilience over time. 6. Develop healthy coping strategies. Self-regulation isn't just about managing your emotions in the moment. It's also about building resilience so that you can handle difficult emotions more effectively in the future. One key way to do this is by developing healthy coping strategies. This might include talking to a trusted friend, journaling about your feelings, or engaging in activities that help you feel grounded, such as yoga or creative hobbies. The more you develop positive coping mechanisms, the better you'll be at managing your emotions. Chapter 4. Motivation, Fueling Your Drive for Success. Introduction. Unlocking the power of motivation. Have you ever experienced that feeling of being stuck when you know what you need to do, but something is holding you back from actually taking action? Maybe it's that goal you set for yourself that's been on your to-do list for months, or the project at work that you know could make a huge difference, but can't seem to get started on. We've all been there. Those moments when the motivation to take action just seems to elude us. But what if I told you that motivation isn't just something you wait for? It's not this fleeting, mysterious force that you either have or you don't. In fact, motivation is a key pillar of emotional intelligence, and it's something you can actively cultivate and harness to drive you forward, no matter the challenge. Motivation is the energy that propels you to take action, to set goals, and to push through obstacles, whether those obstacles are external, like a tough project at work, or internal, like self-doubt. In this part of the audiobook, we'll unlock the secret to lasting motivation, what it is, why it's essential for emotional intelligence, and how to cultivate it in your own life. Whether you're trying to achieve personal goals, excel in your career, or improve your relationships, motivation is the fuel that powers your actions. But it's more than just wanting something badly. It's about understanding the deeper emotional drivers behind your desires and tapping into them to propel you towards success. Are you ready to discover how to turn that inner drive into tangible, positive results? Let's dive in. What is motivation? At its core, motivation is the emotional drive that pushes you to take action toward a specific goal. It's the energy that moves you from thinking about something to actually doing it. Whether it's the desire to lose weight, advance your career, or improve your relationships, motivation is the spark that ignites your actions. However, motivation is more complex than simply feeling driven toward a goal. There are different types of motivation, and understanding them is key to using them effectively. In psychological terms, motivation is often divided into two primary categories. 1. Intrinsic motivation. This is the type of motivation that comes from within. It's when you do something because you find it inherently rewarding or fulfilling. For example, you might enjoy painting because it brings you a sense of peace and accomplishment, not because someone is going to pay you for it. Intrinsic motivation is often more sustainable because it's driven by your internal values and interests. 2. Extrinsic motivation. This type of motivation comes from external factors. It's when you do something because you're seeking a reward or trying to avoid punishment. For example, you might work hard on a project at work to get a promotion or a bonus. While extrinsic motivation can be effective in achieving short-term goals, it's typically less sustainable than intrinsic motivation. That's because once the external rewards are no longer present or the punishment is removed, your drive to continue may diminish. As you'll see, intrinsic motivation is the most powerful force when it comes to long-term success. When your motivations align with your personal values and goals, you'll feel a sense of purpose that carries you through even the toughest challenges. However, external motivators, like deadlines, accountability partners, or the desire for rewards, can also play a role in helping you stay focused and take action when necessary. The key is to find a balance between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation and use both to propel you forward. It's not just about wanting something in the moment, but understanding why that thing matters to you on a deeper level and how that why can keep you going even when the going gets tough. Why motivation is essential for emotional intelligence. Motivation is the driving force behind emotional intelligence because it directly impacts how you respond to your emotions, set and achieve goals, and maintain focus over time. Without motivation, the other components of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-regulation, and empathy, don't carry much weight. Why? Because motivation is what takes you from knowing how you feel, self-awareness, and choosing how to respond, self-regulation, to actually taking action and moving toward your goals. Consider this. If you're self-aware and can recognize when you're feeling stressed or anxious, self-awareness, and you have the ability to calm yourself down and stay composed, self-regulation, that's fantastic. But without motivation, those skills won't lead to tangible results. You'll be calm, but you won't be moving toward your goals. You'll be aware of your feelings, but you won't take steps to address them in a productive way. Motivation is what bridges the gap between emotional control and real-world success. Moreover, motivation helps you maintain a positive mindset. When you're motivated, even the toughest obstacles seem surmountable. You see challenges as opportunities to grow and setbacks as temporary detours rather than failures. Motivation fuels persistence, and persistence is the key to overcoming any difficulty. The science behind motivation. Understanding the psychology of drive. Let's dive into some of the psychology behind motivation. One powerful theory that explains how motivation works is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which suggests that human beings are motivated by different layers of needs, from the most basic to the more complex. According to Maslow, our motivation is driven by 5 levels of needs. 1. Physiological needs. These are basic survival needs like food, water, and shelter. 2. Safety needs. Once physiological needs are met, we seek safety and security in our lives, both physical and emotional. 3. Love and belonging needs. As social beings, we're motivated to connect with others, form relationships, and feel a sense of community. 4. Esteem needs. This level involves the desire for respect, recognition, and achievement. It's the motivation to feel valued and competent. 5. Self-actualization. At the top of the pyramid is the need for personal growth, creativity, and achieving one's full potential. This is the ultimate goal for many people, and it involves pursuing activities that are deeply fulfilling. Maslow's theory shows that motivation is not just about external rewards. It's also about fulfilling deeper emotional needs. As you climb the hierarchy, you move from basic survival towards self-fulfillment. When your motivation is aligned with self-actualization, the desire to grow, learn, and live authentically, your actions are more likely to be meaningful and fulfilling. The key to long-term motivation, then, is to identify what truly matters to you at a deep level. Is it personal growth? Is it contributing to something greater than yourself? By understanding your deeper desires, you can tap into an unshakable motivation that drives you to keep going, even when things get difficult. How to cultivate lasting motivation. Now that we understand what motivation is and why it's so important, let's explore practical ways to cultivate and sustain it in your life. Motivation doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's something you can nurture and build day by day. Here are some proven strategies for strengthening your motivation and keeping it alive. 1. Set clear, meaningful goals. One of the best ways to ignite and sustain motivation is by setting clear, meaningful goals. When you have a specific goal in mind, you know exactly what you're working toward, and that clarity makes it easier to stay focused and committed. But not just any goals will do. Your goals need to be aligned with your values and purpose. When your goals resonate deeply with what matters to you, you'll find yourself more motivated to pursue them. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like get fit, try setting a specific goal like exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times a week to improve my energy levels and overall health. The more specific your goals are, the easier it is to track your progress and stay motivated. 2. Find your why. Understanding the why behind your goal is crucial for motivation. Why do you want to achieve this goal? What is the deeper purpose behind it? When you connect your goal to a meaningful emotional driver, whether it's improving your health, building a better future for your family, or making a positive impact on others, you create a stronger emotional connection to the goal. This deeper connection fuels your motivation, especially during tough times. For instance, if you're working on a career goal, your why might be the desire to provide for your family, or the need to challenge yourself and grow professionally. This deeper emotional connection makes it easier to stay motivated and push through obstacles. 3. Break goals into manageable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming, and when we feel overwhelmed, motivation tends to slip away. The key is to break down big goals into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the massive task ahead, focus on what you can do right now. This keeps the goal feeling achievable and gives you a sense of progress with every step you take. For example, if your goal is to write a book, break it down into smaller tasks like writing 500 words a day or completing 1 chapter per week. By accomplishing smaller tasks, you'll build momentum and keep your motivation high. 4. Celebrate your progress. Motivation thrives on momentum. The more you accomplish, the more motivated you'll feel to continue. Celebrate your small wins along the way. This reinforces positive behavior and reminds you that progress is happening. Whether it's treating yourself to a small reward after completing a task or simply acknowledging how far you've come, celebrating your progress helps maintain your motivation over time. 5. Stay accountable. Accountability is a powerful motivator. When you share your goals with someone, whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, you're more likely to stay committed to them. Regular check-ins with an accountability partner can help you stay on track and motivated, especially during challenging times. Conclusion: cultivating a lifelong source of motivation. Motivation is the fuel that powers your goals and drives you to take action. It's not something that just comes and goes. It's something you can actively cultivate by aligning your goals with your values, finding your deeper why, and celebrating your progress along the way. By tapping into the emotional drivers behind your goals and using strategies like goal setting, reframing, and accountability, you'll build a steady stream of motivation that carries you toward success, even when the journey gets tough. Chapter 5. Empathy, the heart of emotional intelligence. Imagine you're having a conversation with a friend who's going through a difficult time. They're sharing their feelings, their frustrations, and their hopes, but instead of simply nodding along, you truly listen to them. You don't just hear their words, but you feel what they're feeling. You can almost sense their pain or their joy, and as you listen, you don't rush to offer solutions or advice. Instead, you allow them to fully express themselves, and in that moment, they feel seen, heard, and understood. This is the magic of empathy. Empathy is more than just understanding someone else's feelings. It's about feeling those emotions yourself, putting yourself in another person's shoes, and experiencing the world through their eyes. In the world of emotional intelligence, empathy is often seen as the heart of the entire framework. It's the ability to connect with others on a deeply emotional level, transcending the surface and truly understanding their experiences, perspectives, and needs. This chapter is all about empathy, how it works, why it's crucial for emotional intelligence, and how you can cultivate this powerful skill to improve your relationships and become a more effective leader, friend, and colleague. Empathy isn't just a soft skill. It's a fundamental part of human interaction that allows you to build trust, communicate more effectively, and forge stronger connections with the people around you. And while it may feel like an innate trait, empathy can be developed and nurtured. So, how can you unlock this skill and apply it to your own life? Let's explore. What is empathy? At its core, empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. But it's not just about intellectually understanding what someone else is going through. It's about emotionally resonating with their experience. It's about stepping into someone else's shoes and feeling what they feel, whether that emotion is joy, sadness, fear, or frustration. There are 3 key types of empathy. 1. Cognitive empathy. This is the ability to understand another person's thoughts and perspective. It's intellectual empathy, where you grasp the ideas and reasoning behind someone else's actions, beliefs, or feelings. Cognitive empathy helps you understand where someone is coming from and why they feel the way they do. It's often seen in problem-solving and negotiation scenarios, where understanding the other party's point of view is critical. 2. Emotional empathy. This type of empathy goes beyond understanding someone's thoughts. It's about actually feeling what they feel. Emotional empathy allows you to connect on a deeper emotional level with another person. For example, when someone is upset, emotional empathy helps you feel their sadness as if it were your own. This creates a strong emotional bond between you and the other person as they feel your genuine care and concern. 3. Compassionate empathy. This is the most active form of empathy, as it not only involves understanding and feeling another person's emotions, but also involves taking action to help alleviate their suffering or support their happiness. Compassionate empathy is what drives people to help others, whether by offering a kind word, a listening ear, or practical support. In the context of emotional intelligence, empathy is a blend of all 3 of these forms. It's about not only understanding and sharing another person's emotions, but also responding to those emotions in a way that fosters connection and trust. Empathy allows you to move beyond surface-level interactions and truly engage with the people around you in meaningful ways. Why empathy is crucial for emotional intelligence. Empathy plays a pivotal role in emotional intelligence because it directly influences how we connect with others, navigate social situations, and communicate effectively. Without empathy, we can easily misunderstand others, make assumptions, or fail to recognize the emotional needs of those around us. This can lead to conflict, miscommunication, and weakened relationships. Empathy is foundational to building trust. When people feel that you truly understand them, when they feel seen and heard, they are more likely to open up to you, share their thoughts and concerns, and collaborate with you. In both personal and professional relationships, trust is the bedrock of connection, and empathy is what builds that trust. In the workplace, empathy is essential for effective leadership. Leaders who demonstrate empathy are better able to motivate and inspire their teams. They can recognize when employees are struggling, offer the right support, and create a more positive, productive work environment. Empathetic leaders are also better at resolving conflicts and fostering a culture of inclusivity and respect. They make decisions that consider the well-being of their team members, leading to higher levels of engagement and job satisfaction. Empathy also plays a key role in conflict resolution. When 2 parties are in conflict, empathy helps each side understand the other's perspective, reducing misunderstandings and paving the way for finding common ground. Empathy allows you to approach disagreements with an open mind and a willingness to understand the other person's feelings and needs, which can transform tense situations into opportunities for growth and collaboration. How empathy improves communication. One of the most powerful ways that empathy enhances emotional intelligence is by improving communication. Effective communication isn't just about sharing your own thoughts or ideas. It's about understanding the other person's perspective and responding in a way that shows you truly understand them. When you practice empathy, your communication becomes more thoughtful, compassionate, and attuned to the emotional needs of the other person. Empathetic communication involves 1. Active listening. This is the foundation of empathetic communication. Active listening means giving your full attention to the speaker, not interrupting, and responding in a way that shows you've truly heard what they said. 2. Reflecting and validating emotions. When someone shares their feelings with you, it's important to reflect those emotions back to them. This not only shows that you understand, but also helps the other person feel validated. For example, if a friend is telling you about a challenging situation, you might respond with, "It sounds like you're feeling really frustrated by that. I can understand why that would be tough." By acknowledging their emotions, you show that you care and that you're genuinely engaged in the conversation. 3. Nonverbal communication. Empathy is not just about the words you say, it's also about how you say them. Your body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions all play a role in conveying empathy. For instance, maintaining eye contact, leaning in slightly, and nodding as the other person speaks can signal that you're fully engaged and empathetic to their feelings. Empathetic communication deepens your connections with others and allows you to navigate even difficult conversations with grace. Whether you're providing feedback, discussing sensitive topics, or resolving conflicts, empathy enhances your ability to connect and communicate effectively. How to cultivate empathy. Empathy might feel like an innate ability, but it is, in fact, a skill that can be developed and refined with practice. Here are some strategies to help you strengthen your empathy. 1. Practice active listening. The first step toward developing empathy is becoming a better listener. Active listening means fully focusing on the person speaking, without distractions or interrupting. This may sound simple, but in today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves thinking about our response while the other person is still talking. To truly empathize, we must listen with the intent to understand, not just to reply. When practicing active listening, give the speaker your full attention, make eye contact, and refrain from judging or interrupting them. Focus on understanding their emotional experience rather than formulating your response in the moment. This allows the other person to feel heard and valued. 2. Put yourself in others' shoes. Empathy requires perspective taking, the ability to imagine what it's like to be in someone else's position. You can do this by asking yourself, how would I feel if I were experiencing what they're going through? This exercise helps you step outside of your own point of view and understand the emotions, thoughts, and challenges the other person might be facing. By regularly practicing this mental exercise, you'll become more attuned to the feelings of others and more likely to respond with compassion and understanding. 3. Observe nonverbal cues. A lot of communication happens nonverbally. People may not always say exactly what they're feeling, but their body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can reveal a lot about their emotional state. Being able to read these cues allows you to empathize with someone even when they're not explicitly sharing their feelings. For example, if a colleague seems tense and their arms are crossed during a conversation, they may be feeling defensive or closed off. By recognizing these nonverbal signs, you can adjust your approach to be more empathetic and supportive. 4. Be open-minded and non-judgmental. Empathy requires you to suspend judgment and approach others' experiences with an open mind. It's important to recognize that everyone's feelings and experiences are valid, even if they differ from your own. Avoid jumping to conclusions or making assumptions about what someone is going through. Instead, try to listen without judgment and accept their perspective as it is. 5. Share your own vulnerability. Empathy is a two-way street. When you share your own feelings and vulnerabilities with others, you encourage them to do the same. This creates a safe space for mutual understanding and connection. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength that deepens relationships and fosters empathy. Chapter 6. Social Skills: Mastering the Art of Connection. Have you ever walked into a room and felt instantly connected with someone? Or maybe you've met someone who made you feel at ease, listened to, and understood from the moment you spoke to them. These moments don't happen by chance. People who excel at social skills have a unique ability to navigate interactions with ease, making others feel comfortable, respected, and valued. But let's be clear, social skills aren't just about charming small talk or winning over a crowd. They're about understanding and connecting with others in meaningful ways, fostering collaboration, and maintaining strong, healthy relationships. Whether in personal friendships, professional settings, or casual social interactions, social skills are a vital part of emotional intelligence. At the heart of social skills lies the ability to build rapport, communicate clearly, resolve conflicts effectively, and inspire cooperation. Strong social skills are the foundation for success in both your career and personal life. Imagine being able to engage in any conversation with confidence, handle challenging situations gracefully, and foster genuine connections with the people around you. Sounds pretty powerful, doesn't it? In this chapter, we're going to dive into the importance of social skills and how they play a central role in emotional intelligence. We'll explore how mastering these skills can not only improve your personal and professional relationships, but also enhance your ability to collaborate, lead, and thrive in a wide variety of social situations. If you've ever wondered how some people make socializing seem effortless, how they manage to influence and connect with others so naturally, this chapter will reveal the secrets behind those skills. Let's begin. What are social skills? Social skills are the behaviors and strategies that allow you to interact effectively and harmoniously with others. They're a broad set of abilities that include everything from communication and listening skills to empathy and conflict resolution. Social skills are how we build relationships, navigate complex social dynamics, and manage our interactions with others in both personal and professional settings. At their core, social skills are about understanding people, reading social cues, and knowing how to respond in different situations. They involve the ability to engage in meaningful conversations, build trust, influence others, and maintain positive interactions, even when emotions run high or conflicts arise. Here are some of the key components of social skills. 1. Effective communication, the ability to express yourself clearly, listen actively, and understand others' points of view. 2. Conflict resolution, the ability to manage disagreements in a way that fosters understanding and resolution, rather than escalating tension. 3. Influence and persuasion, the ability to inspire, motivate, and guide others toward common goals. 4. Collaboration, the ability to work well with others, whether in a team or in a partnership, by fostering trust, cooperation, and respect. 5. Emotional awareness in social contexts, the ability to recognize and respond to the emotions of others, ensuring that your interactions are sensitive and considerate. In short, social skills are what allow us to navigate the often complicated and nuanced terrain of human interaction. They're what make us feel comfortable in conversations, allow us to manage conflicts without burning bridges, and help us create a sense of belonging and community wherever we go. Why are social skills crucial for emotional intelligence? In the framework of emotional intelligence, social skills are the practical application of all the other components we've discussed: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, and empathy. Here's why social skills are so important. 1. They bridge emotional awareness and action. Social skills enable you to apply your understanding of your own emotions, self-awareness, and the emotions of others, empathy, in real-world social interactions. You can feel what others are feeling, and your social skills help you communicate that understanding in a way that strengthens relationships. 2. They enable you to build and maintain relationships. Strong relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and effective communication. Social skills are the tools you use to foster those qualities. Whether you're